Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our critical commentary or the CCC commentary. If you've never seen this before, welcome. My name is Luke, aka True Justice 107. I'm also the coach of the Norfolk Noctiles and a competitor in Season 3 of the CCC. If you have no idea what the CCC is, we are the Critical Continental Cup. We are a doubles VGC style draft league. If you have no idea what that means, we basically do a draft style. We pick the Pokemon we want to use, and we have to prep a team of 6 out of 10 Pokemon every week and battle people in our division. It's a lot of fun. A lot of prep, a lot of strategy goes into it. So if you're tired of the ladder and tired of seeing, your Groudons, Kyogres, the same Venusaur, Charizard leads that you've been seeing in the VGC ladder scene, this is a breath of fresh air in my opinion. And if you really, really dig VGC, you're going to dig the draft league because there's a lot more strategy going on. Compared to that, in my opinion, you're going to see a lot of interesting Pokemon, and that's for sure. But if this is your first time, hi. Please give us a like, a comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content that you saw. If you're interested in the CCC in the future, we will be leaving a link to our Discord in the description, as well as links to the socials for our competitors, myself included. And, anything you want to learn about our draft league, it will be in the description. So please check the description if you are interested in the CCC. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop into this week 2 matchup. It's going to be the Southside Scorbunnies versus the Jersey Jynxes. And we're going to go ahead and look at their 2 teams and see what they might be bringing out of the 10 Pokemon that they have for this week. So let's go on and take a quick look here. And as you can see here, we have a very interesting matchup. So the Scorbunnies have a very, very, very sun-heavy team. A lot of mons are going to be using the sun, like the Venusaur, Ninetales, and Heliolisk and Leafeon. They are both going to be not desperately need the sun, but the sun will be helping them out a lot. To Sableye there to be pretty much your really good prankster user that can set sun if you don't want to bring Ninetales. Lycanroc's great priority with Accelerock. Togetic is just basically a baby Togekiss with Eviolite. Mr. Mime is probably the best D tier in that you can pick in CCC in our draft league, in my opinion. Because access to screens, fake out, pretty good special attack. And then you have your War Turtle, which is Mini Blastoise, Follow Me, fake out. As well as the Urshifu, who is up there, who's going to bring the power that doesn't necessarily need the sun, but is on the frailer side. And then you look at the Jersey Jynxes, and her team it screams Trick Room. And if I'm the Jynxes in this match, my number one priority is I'm looking at my opponent's team, and I'm seeing that my opponent's team is all faster than most of my mons here. So the Trick Room definitely has to come up. She's got a Diancie, Mimikyu, Liepard, Serena, Lapras, Riolu, Jynx, Steelix, Flareon, and Lopunny. All very good mons on their own. Interested to see how well they do in a team dynamic. Obviously, Riolu's got coaching, which is you always got to watch out for that. Liepard, again, is another great prankster user. Diancie, I'm not too familiar with that. That is one of our mythicals that we're allowing for this season, so I'm curious to see how that works. We already know what Mimikyu does. Free Choice Scarf. It's insane. It's really good. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how it goes. But definitely the Scorbunnies are going to try to set the sun, and the Jynxes really need to set the Trick Room to get the most out of their matchups. So let's go on and see what exactly happens in these games, and we're going to go on and put this game on right now and see what happens. All right, here we go, guys. So, I believe we're going to be seeing this matchup from the Scorbunnies side, and we are. So, if I'm the Scorbunnies right now, and I'm looking at Kendra's team, I am not seeing necessarily Trick Room here, but it could benefit having Trick Room. I don't know how fast. I think Jynx isn't that fast. Neither is Serena. Mimikyu is not that fast, so it definitely will benefit from Trick Room. And considering that the Scorbunnies look like they are going to be setting the sun, we already know that Venusaur is going to be moving faster due to its chlorophyll ability. And if he decides to bring the Heliolisk here, it's going to be full sun. So if you're the Jynxes here, you're going to be having to look at maybe setting Rain and Trick Room to make sure you're going faster than these mons, because these mons in the sun will hit like a truck. But I'm very curious. I'm not too familiar with a lot of mons on the Jynx's side, but we shall see what happens. But the Scorbunny is definitely going with the Venusaur Ninetales lead. And with the Heat Rock on the Ninetales, they definitely want that sun up for as long as possible and will be benefiting from that. And if I'm the Jynxes, I think I'm going probably like a Mimikyu, maybe Lopunny lead, because I know Lopunny gets fake out. So that's kind of might be my guesstimate for a lead here. All right, let's get the battle started. And I'm a sucker for the trainer cards, guys. I love me the trainer cards. Alrighty here, let's see what we've got. Alright, Lopunny Diancie here. Okay, so I'm not familiar if Diancie gets Trick Room, but no straight Trick Room setter here. So this Venusaur is going to be moving fast, and it's going to be hitting pretty hard. It's got access probably to Sludge Bomb, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, the sun's up, and be very interesting. Oh, it looks like he's going to go the Solar Beam route instead, which would be good. I think Solar Beam's a good pickup here. But obviously, if I am the Scorbunnies, I'm predicting a fake out from the Lopunny, probably into the Venusaur here, the most threatening Pokemon. And then that's what I would do. But it looks like the Scorbunnies are going to go ahead and swap out Ninetales right now for the Lycanroc, which, honestly would be good. You just have to be careful that the Lopunny doesn't go for a close combat. And the fake out goes in. It's Life Orb Lopunny. Okay. So Life Orb Lopunny is interesting. I'm not too sure if you want to be using Life Orb and fake out too often. But, it did a lot more damage, so maybe it's packing an Ice type move in there somewhere. So very interesting Life Orb on the Lopunny, but not terrible. And it looks like the Lycanroc's going to go ahead and Iron Head the Diancie here, so I'm curious to see how much that's going to do. So Solar Beam, obviously since it's in the sun, isn't a 2-turn move, so it's going to be going in pretty heavy and hitting like a truck. Yeah, goes into the Diancie and does about 70% here. But also the Venusaur is Life Orb. Wow, we're seeing the 2 Life Orb bombs now. And the Iron Head from the Lycanroc going to the Diancie, and the Diancie is gone. And yeah, After You is not going to be doing much. So a really strong turn for the Scorbunnies. Not the best turn for the Jynxes, but here comes the Liepard. Now, you have Prankster and Liepard, which is nice, but you also have another fake out user with Liepard too, so you can always fake out the, I guess, Lycanroc again, because Venusaur is not doing too much to Lopunny, but I'm not quite sure if I'm the Jynxes, if I really have anything that's going to do a lot to the Lycanroc and the Venusaur. Lopunny and Liepard aren't really scary, but she does set the range, so that's good. So the Venusaur is definitely not moving faster than the Lopunny in this turn, so that's really good. So good call on that. The close combat comes in, and yeah, oof. Lopunny is gone. Great play by the Lycanroc there to go ahead and do that. The Lopunny is out of here, so let's see what this last mon is. Good Drain coming into the Liepard. It's probably gonna... Oh my holy bejesus. It was a crit. Okay. Whoa. Not looking good for the Jynxes here. This, when you're an opponent in Draft League and you are down 4-1, basically, you're down 1. Right now, you want to use this opportunity to scout as much as possible to take as much info into the second game that you can. This is pretty much a wash. I really just don't see what exactly the Jynx can do here. It probably could go for an Ice Beam into the Venusaur, but it's not. I don't think the Venusaur is going to die to that. And the Iron Head comes out, and the Jynx is Focus Sashed. So, okay, so that's where our Focus Sash is. So you need to know that for next time if you're the Scorbunnies and the Sludge Bomb comes out on the Jynx. And yeah, it's a really strong 4-0 for the Scorbunnies on this one. Always nice to start a game 1 out this way. And if you're the Jynxes, you really just have to take the information that you learn from game 1 into game 2. And if I'm the Jynxes, you have to realize that you need Trick Room, because it looks like the setting the rain did not help out that much, and you need to bring some power. The Liepard, the Lopunny weren't doing anything. Unfortunately, the DNC got doubled into and couldn't do what it needed to do. And Jynx, again, when you're a single mon in there, you're just getting doubled in most of the time. Unless you're extremely bulky, you're not taking 2 back-to-back hits. Normally effective hits very well. But it looks like so it looks like the Jynxes are definitely going Trick Room this time with the Steelix. I don't see a reason why you bring Steelix without Trick Room if you're not planning on going Trick Room. So if I'm the Scorbunnies here, I think I still like the Venusaur Ninetales lead. I think that's not a terrible lead at all. Make them do set Trick Room, because you do have an option here with your Venusaur to do some damage before it does get set. But it's not terrible to go a different strat. I'm a big firm believer in, if you win the first game, go with the same lead and dare your opponent to beat you, because you just 4-0'd them. And you really looks like you have the advantage. So I would just dare them to beat me. But it looks like he's bringing the same mons. He just swapped out the Lycanroc for the Wartortle here. I guess the Wartortle is going to be following me Fake Out, which would be, a pretty solid strat here. And here we go into game 2. All right, Mimikyu Lopunny. Okay, so this is nice. This is nice. I know Mimikyu gets Trick Room, so that's really nice here. If I'm the Scorbunny, I am kind of scared of the Mimikyu right now. The Mimikyu has Play Rough, and the Urshifu does not like Play Rough at all. So you have to be careful, mindful if you're the Urshifu here. But it looks like he's swapping out because he sees the threat, which is good. So, they're taking the precautions that they need to with this team, because most likely the Mimikyu is going to Trick Room here. Let's see what our players decide to do. 2 good Fake Out users, so we're definitely expecting Fake Outs coming out from the Lopunny. Definitely, we didn't see Follow Me on the Wartortle, which I'm a little curious about. That would have been probably helpful. You could have probably gotten a close combat off on the Urshifu if you followed me. But here comes the Sun now. So yeah, if now that we know that they have the Venusaur, you definitely need to go ahead and set that Trick Room. And the Flip Turn comes out. Breaks to the skies. Interesting call on the Flip Turn. I guess that's if you want to recycle Fake Outs, which is fine. But I'm still more of a fan of the Follow Me. So yeah, he's going the full Sun mode right here. So I'm hoping that the Mimikyu clicked Trick Room, and it did. Okay, now the games begin. Now we're in the Jynx's wheelhouse right now. This is exactly where you don't want to be if you're the Scorbunnies, and exactly what your team needs if you're the Jynxes. She realized that she needed Trick Room, so she set it. Now it's all about her, taking it slowly but steady and picking her spot to get the kills that she needs to get. Because we know the Venusaur is not the Venusaur will be moving last this turn. So you play rough with the Mimikyu, most likely Shadow Sneak. It's not terrible. Okay, does decent damage. Here comes the Heat Wave. Ooh, that is God, another crit, man. Oh no, the burn. That is, if you are. Yeah, Fire Punch in the Sun is going to do big damage. You have to be careful of the Sun. Even if you're using the sun and you're Venusaur, you've got to be aware of the sun. That Fire Punch most likely would not have killed if it was not sun boosted. So you always have to be aware of that. And this Wartortle in the sun is not doing much at all, damage wise. So, you know, a fake out here would be nice. And yeah, the Mimikyu pretty much isn't going to be doing too much now that it's burned. Unfortunately, Mimikyu gets a lot of its offense physically. And with that burn, it's pretty much has been nerfed. But the Mimikyu did its job. It set the Trick Room, which is what, you know, it needed to do. And yeah, I mean, that did maybe 20 damage. So, very lucky on the burn. But the Lopunny and Mimikyu are both out now. So that means the Jynxes have... okay, well, it dies to burn. So the Jynxes now have 2 healthy switch-ins. And I'm believing the Steelix is here, which is really, really good. The Steelix should be able to clean up a lot here. And the Diancie. So now we know for certain now with the Trick Room that both of the Jynx's team members, the Steelix and the Diancie, will be moving first. So they should be hitting their hardest hitting moves and trying to get through this before the Trick Room ends. Because if the Trick Room ends beforehand, you won't be in the best situation. Especially since we know that Urshifu is in the back. And once again, the sun is out, so Aqua Jet, Flip Turn aren't going to be doing a lot here. And it looks like it's going to go helping. No, okay. No helping hand here. I guess Aqua Jet's fine. I mean, it's not going to do a lot in the sun. So you got to be careful. Sometimes the sun can be a double-edged sword right now. That Aqua Jet from the Wartortle would do a lot more than what it should if it was not the sun. And yeah, I mean, it does 10%. Body Press is an interesting choice into the Wartortle. I would be targeting the Ninetales and leaving the Wartortle if I were him, knowing that the Wartortle can't do much, especially now that the sun is gone. But this is most likely a White Herb Diancie. Power Herb, excuse me. And into the Protect. Okay. Wow, good read there, and good scouting as well. Now you know that the now you know the Diancie had the Power Herb going for it, and it wants to get rid of the Ninetales. So I guess once again, yeah, the Heat Wave is a great choice here. The Steelix should be moving first, and you should be targeting that Ninetales because the Heat Wave from a Ninetales into Steelix they're not gonna like that. So the Ninetales has to go now. You've seen that it has Heat Wave. You know that it's in the sun. The Ninetales is the obvious pick to go. An Earthquake. Okay. Doesn't kill, but I'm hoping they doubled in. The D-Gleam, yes. Alright, good. The Ninetales is gone, so they got rid of the threat there, which is very nice. Flip Turn again comes out. It's in the sun. It's not doing much. But if I'm not mistaken now, Trick Room might be over. Which is great for the Jynx, great for the Scorbunnies. But now you have to kill a Diancie and a Steelix. And all you gotta have for help is a Wartortle. Mind you, the Wartortle still has Fake Out, so it's not terrible. You reset your Fake Out here, which is really good. But yeah, you're looking at a tough spot. It's curious to see if the Jynxes can pull this one out. He's thinking, it looks like, I mean, I think a Drain Punch here isn't a terrible choice. I'm curious as why he doesn't have close combat. I guess he doesn't want to sacrifice that defense drop, but, you know, if you're curious, I just don't know if Drain Punch is going to do enough damage. And Helping Hand. Well, that's why. Okay, so he's going to Helping Hand here. Interesting. Okay. Let's see how much this Drain Punch is going to do here. Does not kill. That could be huge. The D-Gleam comes out, and this Urshifu is probably dead. It's really dead. or Urshifu just can't. That Urshifu just can't take a fairy type move. It will die to a disarming voice. And yeah, wow, good bounce back by the Jinxes in this one. She realized that she needed to set the Trick Room, set that really well. And you know, with that Urshifu in there, she knew she needed to survive one hit, and unfortunately, the Helping Hand Drain Punch didn't kill the Diancie, and they were able to answer back. And one-shot the Urshifu. So great plays by the Jinxes in this one. And now if you're game 3, I think, you know, it's tough. This is going to be a really close matchup because now they've both kind of seen their strats. You know, the Jinxes know they need to stop the Sun. The Scorbunnies know they need to stop Trick Room. But the Scorbunnies are ready to go. They picked their team really quick. And it looks like we have another change for Kendra. She's bringing the Lapras here. Again, it kind of screams Trick Room. Again, so if you're Kendra, you want to definitely set the Trick Room, 100% here. And yeah, I'm curious to see what the Lapras is gonna do. I wonder what its item would be here. Is it AV maybe? Is it holding a berry? Is it scared of like a grass type move? Very curious. That's for sure. Very curious. And here we go. Game 3, here we come. I'm very excited. Let's see here. Alright, Mimikyu and Lapras. Alright, okay, that's a good lead. Definitely gonna Trick Room with that Mim. So you definitely want to get rid of it. If you have something that you can double into Mimikyu with and get that shot, because unfortunately it has the disguise, so it's very, you have to hit it twice in order to one-shot it, which is kind of annoying. So if you know you have a move that will break the disguise, and then your partner can one-shot, that's probably the best strat here, because you know that Mimikyu's got Trick Room. And you know your team cannot handle Trick Room appropriately. Especially the mons you decided to go with. Also, I would be also very scared of the fact that we do have a Urshifu and a Mimikyu out here. So Lapras protects. Interesting here. Maybe she's banking on Lapras being a big hitter. Okay, the Rock Blast comes out, breaks the disguise. Very nice here. Fires off another one. So it does about 20-25%. Now let's see if this Iron Head's enough to pick it up. And it is! Wow, really good play by the Scorbunnies. No Trick Room this time, and yeah, all the ball is in the Scorbunny's court. Very curious on how the Jinxes decide to play this one back. Here comes the Steelix, which the Steelix isn't going to do probably much here, considering it is not in Trick Room and it's going to move slow and it doesn't have the greatest, it's not that good without Trick Room. So, you know, a Rock Blast from the Lycanroc is nice. Close combat as well would be nice. The Lapras is scary if you're the Lycanroc. You have to worry about Hydro Ball. The Lycanroc's AV, so it will die. It will die if it probably gets hit from a Hydro Pump here. But yeah, you know, I think, you know, switching out here is also very well done. On the Scorbunny side, the Urshifu really doesn't need to be here. Doesn't really like this position. So, you know, the Ninetales coming, the Venusaur coming in is nice. Now, I'm curious to see what this Lapras might be holding. We haven't seen anything yet. Rock Blast comes in. Alright, does about 35-40. Very interested. Okay, Lapras uses Freeze Dry here. Curious to see how much that does. Ooh, that AV coming into effect. Ooh. Lapras lost some of its HP. Is that Life Orb Lapras? Okay, okay, her Lopunny had Life Orb. So, alright, well, okay, so this is a rule break, so I guess we can use this as a learning opportunity here. In the rules it states that you cannot bring the same item to your match. And that means for every Pokemon. So even if you didn't bring Lopunny this match with Life Orb, you still cannot bring another Pokemon with Life Orb. That item has to stay on that Pokemon at all times. So this is a rule break. So unfortunately for the Jynxes, I don't think anyone caught that because they're still continuing with the match. It is a -2, regardless. So I'm curious to see what happens now. But unfortunately, you know, this is a rule break, and it will be a -2 despite no matter what the result is for this one, unfortunately. But you have to, you know, this is just a great example of making sure you read the rules. You know, you might have just did not see the fine print saying that each item must be stay on a single mon. You cannot swap items even if you do not bring that mon. It is stated in the rules pretty clearly. But you know, first time person in the league, it happens. But this is a learning experience just to make sure we are not doubling up on items no matter what. But yeah, so the Lycanroc goes down here, which, you know, is good for the Jynx's side. So I mean, they're playing like without the rule break, which is fine. So I'm curious to see what exactly happens, because honestly, Life Orb Lapras is interesting, to say the least. So I'm curious about that. But it looks like, you know, the Scorbunnies are still in a really good position. So we get a Giga Drain coming into the Steelix. It's not going to kill, so the Steelix is going to stick around a little bit longer. But so is the Venusaur here. And yeah, Heat Wave comes out, goes into Steelix. The Steelix is gone, for sure. So just leaves the Lapras, and that is it. The Weather Ball comes out, goes into the Venusaur here, and the Sun, which is nice. So the Venusaur does go down. Lapras uses more HP, so this is definitely Life Orb Lapras. No ifs about it. So once again, rule break, but it happens. You know, it happened last year to one of our competitors. You know, it does happen from time to time, but always just make sure you just double check here. So depending on what happens here, it will be a -2 regardless. But let's see if that, you know, maybe it can get pulled out here. Because all we're looking for now is to see if the Jynxes manage to take out another Mon, which would make it a -1, but then we would have to correct the score. Okay, Heat Wave comes out. Okay, Lapras and Jynx. Not great. Good damage on both Mons. And the Sun. Jynx is gone. Okay, so the Jynx crit. That was unneeded. So the Jynx is gone, and the Lapras is gone next turn. So, I mean, it looks like a steady 2-0. So, you know, the double item use didn't really come into effect. And the Sun does a lot of damage, but then we see more of that Life Orb damage. And then in the Sun, Ninetales is moving faster all the time. And it's going to be a pretty solid cleanup here. A good hard fought 2-0 on both sides. Really good game. Could have gone either way. There, but it looks like the determining factor in Game 3 was the Scorbunny's decision to go ahead and get rid of the Mimikyu to nullify that Trick Room, because that is what her team really needs to thrive. Her team really needs Trick Room to thrive. And yeah, great win for the Scorbunnies. And yeah, tough loss for the Jynxes, but it happens. But yeah, so you know, so it's a 2-0 for the Scorbunnies. Good victory. So the rule break didn't really didn't really affect the result too much. But you know, it does happen. So congratulations on the win for the Scorbunnies. I believe they are now 1-0 as of now, because I don't believe they played their week 1 just yet. They had to reschedule. So it's a nice 1-0, and I believe now the Jynxes are 0-1 as well. So, you know, good matches between each opponent. Again, just learning from your mistakes. Obviously, the 4-0 happened in Game 1. Kendra answered that back in Game 2 with setting up Trick Room. and then the Scorbunnies re-answered that in game 3 by getting rid of the Trick Room by taking out the Mimikyu. So, you know, really good, solid competitive thinking going on between both players. You know, it's still a good match, despite the rule break. But, you know, this is a good reminder for everyone just to make sure we are reading the rules, so we don't have anything like this happen, because it could affect things. But unfortunately it didn't, so no harm done. It happens, it's okay. But it's just there for a reason. But yeah, anyways, thank you again for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, send a comment, check out our Draft League Discord, check the socials of the players below. And yeah, that's going to be it for me, and I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will probably see you guys really soon. Alright guys, bye!